Billionaire Life Seekers! Today, we're looking at the success and accomplishments of the richest singer in the world, Herb Alpert. He's a trumpet legend who led Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass in the 1960s. Stay tuned, there's an interesting bonus fact waiting for you at the end. What is Herb Alpert's net worth? Herb Alpert is an American musician and music industry executive who has a net worth of $850 million. He is best known for being the trumpeter who led the Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass Band in the 60s. In 1966, the Tijuana Brass outsold the Beatles, selling more than 13 million albums. Herb Alpert would go on to release 28 albums, of which 5 were #1 hits. 14 went platinum, and 15 went gold. He earned his fortune as the co-founder of A&M Records. He co-founded the company with Jerry Moss. Herb and Jerry sold A&M to Polygram in 1989 for $500 million in cash. In 1998, Herb and Jerry sued Polygram and won an additional $200 million payout. Music career. His music career began in earnest when he became a songwriter for Keane Records. Starting in 1957, Herb began writing and recording music for the first time professionally. He built a small recording studio in his garage and, along with a musician named Rob Wiertz, wrote several top 20 hit songs. Many songs written or co-written by Alpert for 2 years became top 20 hits, including What a Wonderful World by Sam Cooke. In 1960, Herb began his recording career as a vocalist at Dot Records under the name of Dor Alpert. Tell It to the Birds was recorded as the first release on Carnival Records. Herb is probably most famous musically for founding the band Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. He came up with the idea for his signature sound after hearing a brass band while attending a bullfight in Tijuana, Mexico in the early 1960s. In order to capture this signature sound, Herb overdubbed his trumpet on 2 different tape machines. Originally, the Tijuana Brass was just Herb himself overdubbing his own trumpet slightly out of sync. He personally funded his first single, The Lonely Bull, and it spread across radio airwaves until it became a top 10 hit in the fall of 1962. His debut album, The Lonely Bull, quickly followed and reached #6 on the Billboard pop charts. For his subsequent albums, Alpert worked with a group of LA session musicians known as the Wrecking Crew. By the end of 1964, there was a growing demand for live appearances from the Tijuana Brass. So, Alpert auditioned and hired a team of session men: John Pisano on electric guitar, Lou Pagani as a piano player, Nick Ceroli on the drums, bass guitarist Pat Senator, and Tony Kalash on the trumpet. Herb Alpert played trumpet and did the vocals for the band. The newly formed band debuted in 1965 and became one of the highest paid acts performing at that time. The group's album, Whipped Cream and Other Delights, was the #1 album for 1965 and remained on the Billboard charts for more than 3 years. The second album released that year was called Going Places. In 1966, the Tijuana Brass outsold the Beatles, selling more than 13 million albums. The same year, the Guinness Book of World Records recognized that Alpert set a new record by placing 5 albums simultaneously in the top 20 on the Billboard Pop Album chart, an accomplishment that has never been repeated. In the first week of April of that year, 4 of those albums were in the top 10 at the same time. An album or 2 was released each year throughout the 1960s. Alpert's only #1 single during this period was a solo effort, This Guy's in Love with You, written by Burt Bacharach and Hal David. Alpert sang it to his first wife in a 1968 CBS television special titled Beat of the Brass, filmed in Malibu. Alpert disbanded the Tijuana Brass in 1969, then released another album by the group in 1971. In 1973, with some of the original Tijuana Brass members and some new members, he formed a group called Herb Alpert and the TJB. The new version of the Brass released 2 albums in 1974 and 1975 and toured. Alpert reconvened a third version of the brass in 1984, after being invited to perform for the Olympic Games athletes at the Los Angeles Summer Games. The invitation led to the Bullish album and tour. In the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s, Alpert enjoyed a successful solo career. Herb Alpert would go on to release 28 albums, of which 5 were #1 hits, 14 went platinum, and 15 went gold. To date, Herb has won 8 Grammys and, in total, has sold more than 75 million albums worldwide. Alpert is the only musician to hit #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100 pop charts as both a vocalist and an instrumentalist. Business ventures. In the late 1980s, Alpert started H. Alpert & Co., a short-lived perfume company, which sold through higher-end department stores like Nordstrom. The company launched with 2 scents, Listen and Listen for Men. Alpert compared perfume to music, with high and low notes. He is the owner of the Vibrato Grill Jazz in the Beverly Glen area of Los Angeles. Awards and honors. Alpert and Moss received a Grammy Trustees Award in 1997 for their lifetime achievements in the recording industry as executives, and the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 2007. In May 2000, Alpert was awarded an honorary doctorate from Berklee College of Music. For his contribution to the recording industry, Alpert has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame at 6929 Hollywood Boulevard in 1977. Moss also has a star on the Walk of Fame. Alpert and Moss were also inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on March 13, 2006, as non-performer lifetime achievers for their work at A&M. Alpert received the El Premio Billboard for his contributions to Latin music at the 1997 Billboard Latin Music Awards. Alpert has worked as a Broadway theater producer, with his production of Tony Kushner's Angels in America winning a Tony Award. Alpert was awarded Society of Singers Lifetime Achievement Award by Society of Singers in 2009. Alpert was awarded one of the 2012 National Medal of the Arts awarded by President and Mrs. Obama on Wednesday, July 10, 2013, in the White House's East Room. Alpert won a Grammy Award on January 26, 2014, for Best Pop Instrumental Album for his work on Stepping Out. And now it's time for today's bonus fact. In 2010, Herb Alpert and his wife, singer Lani Hall, listed their dreamy house in Pacific Palisades at $2.6 million, the multiple listing service shows. The restored Spanish-style home, built in 1928, had handmade doors, stenciled beams, fresco painting, carved ceilings, period arches, and perhaps even more room for a brass section in its 2,500 square feet of living space. Now that's what we call Billionaire Life. Who's your favorite musician of all time? Let us know in the comments. And that's it for today. Make sure to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications for our channel to keep up your daily dose of billionaire inspiration. Until next time.